But now you're sounding a new alarm, and the new alarm is twofold. The Chinese communists are accessing Western markets and Western money, and that's a problem. And then the second aspect of it is, with that money, they're doing some pretty bad things. Can you tell us a little about that?
Well, the numbers are much more disturbing. As you know, China is an economic juggernaut, the likes of which the Soviets never knew, thank goodness. The situation we have here is, in the new era, it's really about stocks and bonds, namely our capital markets, that are the keys to the kingdom.
And not only that, they're actually forcing some investment through our MSCI All Country World Index, aren't they?
Yes. Look, you have as much as $1.9 trillion in our stock market. You have another trillion or so that we're exposed as Americans in their bond market, buying Chinese government bonds, particularly those of their state-owned enterprises. And so we're already talking about circa $3 trillion of financing that we're providing to the Communist Party and the Chinese totalitarian government. So this is a huge problem, and they're doing it in many different ways, including having our index providers like MSCI, like FTSE Russell, like Dow Jones, S&P, Bloomberg, Barclays, others, who are buying hundreds of Chinese companies right out of mainland exchanges, circumventing SEC regulations and disclosure requirements and the like, and are stuffing them into indexes which have trillions of dollars of funds under management that are automatically forced, in effect, to buy those stocks as soon as they appear in these indexes. And that is a huge problem, because it means that every time a Chinese company, including bad actors like the People's Liberation Army or human rights abusers, and we can go over some of who those bad actors are, but believe me, they're there. And as soon as they appear in an index, scores of millions of Americans automatically have them, in effect, inserted into their investment portfolios and their retirement accounts.
Well, now, wait a minute, Roger. I've been told, everybody's been told over and over, that the Chinese are funding us. But what you're telling me is that we've been funding them.
That's correct. I mean, they have $1.1 trillion of our T-bills. By the way, if they ever sold them all, it would be not the calamity that people have predicted. It would be 50 or 100 basis points for us in interest rate rise. They don't have leverage, just to put that myth to bed. But they are funding us to the tune of about $1.1 trillion. In turn, they're taking out of our markets, both stocks and bonds, multiples of that amount. And they plan to put trillions of dollars more into our market in terms of the exposure of American investors in the next 2 to 3 years. So much so, Kevin, that the American people could well wake up one morning, that 150, 180 million Americans who are in our capital markets, and find out, to their chagrin and even horror, that they're holding 15, 17, 22, 25% of their entire investment portfolios are in Chinese securities. That's the day that we have a true crisis. That's the day we're in checkmate, and that's the day that we have to avoid, and we have to do it now.